Hello and welcome to That's Why We Have Hot Dogs in the Freezer. And today I'm going to introduce you to something that you may not have heard about, and it's called sous vide. I've been looking at this on Food Network for a while now, and when Amazon Prime Days came around, I bought myself a sous vide machine. What this does is you put it into a water bath, and then you set your temperature to what you want the internal temperature of your food to finally be, and then you just let it go for 2-3 hours. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a couple steaks today, and we're going to do them sous vide, which we're going to use just regular plastic bags, which I've been told is, if you use the good bags, that it's perfectly fine. There's no BPAs or anything. So we're going to do that. But for right now, let's do all the prep work up front. And this is cool because you can let this thing go for 3 hours. You go a little longer, that's fine too. And then all you have to do is sear it on both sides and you've got steak. So let's go ahead and do this. What I like to do is, we have 2 steaks here. And if you remember, if you know, steak's expensive, so you don't want to ruin it either. And I've ruined quite a few steaks in my life. So I like to put a little salt liberally on each side. Let's do the garlic powder next. A little garlic powder. Has this got a shaky on it? Nope, not on the lid. To my steak. And then if you've seen my episode on the fresh cracked black pepper, I encourage you to go see it again. But this is it. I do this ahead of time, and that way I can just put a little bit on my steak, kind of pat it down, make sure it's in there. Then we'll flip them over and get the other side. And so now we're going to do what's called a water displacement. You could do this with one of those seal-a-meal machines, and they recommend that, but they also say that you can do it this way. So we're going to take one of these steaks, we're going to put it in our bag, and get as much air out to start with as we can. Seal it all the way up to the corner. Then we're going to take and put it into a container with some water and push it all the way down. That's going to cause the air to come out because we're displacing it with the water pressure, and then just seal it up. So now we have this one sealed up. And you can do this trick if you're putting stuff in the freezer too. Now, I'm going to take this over to the kitchen counter and set it up. And what we're going to do is I'm going to submerge this in here. And there's a marking on the thing. You have to have your water level between the min and the max line, which right now it's a little bit there. I'll probably add a little bit more water, but you want to bring it up to temperature. Then we're going to put the steaks into the water, and then we'll put some foil on top so that we can cut down on condensation, because you know this is going to be hot water and it's going to boil off. So we want to keep all that water in it we can. We'll be back for you guys it'll be a few seconds. For me it's going to be about 3 hours. So I'm going to put this over on the kitchen counter and set it up, put the foil on it, get it started, and we'll come back when it's time to take it out and sear it. So y'all hang in there. Be back in a bit. And we're back, and it's been about 3 hours, and the steaks are out of the sous vide machine, and we're back over here at the work area. I've got about 2 tablespoons of butter in that pan right there, heating up. We're going to take some paper towels and put them on this plate. I'm going to take one of our steaks out. And they are not the prettiest things you'll ever look at. I'm going to tell you that right now, because they basically, they're not seared. They're cooked. You could eat it right now and it would probably taste okay. You'd be missing a little something off of it. You'd be missing that sear. But what we're going to do is we're going to take another group of paper towels here. We want to get it dry, as dry as we can, because you need it dry for the sear to happen. Okay. Spread my butter around just a little bit. Now we're going to take this steak, and here we go. Put that in there. I just bumped it to 375. I had it at 350. Maybe 4. What do you think? 390. Let's not push it. Now, we just want it to sit there, get a little bit of a sear on it. Because remember, this is already done. This is already cooked. There you go. Let's catch that other side. Let that sear just a little bit. I have seen people have their pans blazing hot. You hit that steak and smoke just pours off, and then the smoke detector goes off. Well, you don't need to go that crazy. Granted, you need to have a quick sear because you don't want it to cook any more than it already has. You just want to get some color on the outside. Which we're starting to get. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to turn it up on the side. And there's that little bit of fat on there. Press that down into the pan and get a little sear on that fat. There you go. Let me get just a little more on this side. And then we're going to take this thing, we'll put it on this cutting board, and we'll cut into this thing. And you are not going to believe what you're going to see. Now, I like my steaks medium rare, so I cooked it to 130 degrees, which should be a perfect medium rare from side to side in this steak. So let me see where the buttons are here. I'll pause my heat. We're going to take that out. And since it's already cooked, we don't have to let it rest. Normally, you would have to let your steak rest. So we're going to cut into this. And there you go. Just as tender, like butter. I'm not saying that you have to do a steak this way. I'm saying this is sous vide. I've heard that restaurants do this, that they'll have a whole bunch of steaks back there in bags, and you order medium rare and they just pull one out and sear it on both sides and bring it to you. So, I hope you enjoyed this episode. This has been another episode of That's Why We Have Hot Dogs in the Freezer, and this was Sous Vide Steak. If you did like this video, please like, subscribe, and Click on my little face over here, and we'll see you next time. Bye.